Aussie billionaire Clive Palmer and right-wing American talk show star Tucker Carlson are joining forces for a speaking tour down under. Carlson made headlines as a host of Fox News in the US, where he publicly supported former President Donald Trump.
More recently, he also gained global attention for interviewing Vladimir Putin, but he was heavily criticised for going too soft on the Russian ruler. So what's he going to bring to audiences here in Australia? Clive Palmer is organising the series of talks and joins us now. Good morning to you, Clive. You've said this speaking tour with Tucker Carlson is about waking up Australia. What do you mean?
Yep. Well, I think we can wake Australia up a number of ways, certainly from the reaction to things. Tucker Carlson in particular comes fresh from interviewing, as you said, Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin, Elon Musk and others, and he's recognised worldwide as a very professional journalist, and certainly is America's #1 journalist for many, many years. So it's not so much about him, it's about what he can bring to the discussion about democracy. It's good that we've got people that have got contrary views to our own sometimes, so we can discuss these things and have them before the public. That's what he'll bring.
Was he America's #1 journalist? He told Americans that the US election was rigged by those voting machines, and then the company that owned the voting machines sued successfully Fox for $1 billion. He was also connected to anti-Semitic and misogynistic cultures at Fox. So would you say that made him the #1 journalist?
Yeah, I would. I think so, by his ratings, by the number of people that watched him. That's how you really judge those things. And if you have a look at his ratings, consistently for over 5 years, he was the #1 rating journalist. I know, I don't know what your ratings are, but I'm sure they're an important part about your employment. And that's what we're looking at. We don't really look at what Tucker Carlson says as an individual, but what his professional ability is as a journalist. I don't know whether you're left or right or otherwise. It really doesn't matter. You've got a skill as a journalist to bring out the best of people in their interviews, and that's why you're employed. So hopefully Tucker Carlson can expose us to some of those people. It's not many journalists that have interviewed Vladimir Putin, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, the president of Argentina, many other world leaders in the last 6 months that we get here in Australia that we can bounce ideas off. Some of them may be different to his. I'll be interviewing Tucker Carlson, and I hope I don't give him an easy time when I'm talking to him about how he does things and how he carries out his interviews, and we won't shield him for any personal criticism, but it's not always all about the person. It's about the issue, what's good for our country, what's good for our society. And if some people have got views we don't agree with, pointing out the misfailings of their position. So I think it's a good thing for our freedom of speech. And freedom of speech is a very important thing, that we can each have the right to be wrong and the right to be right.
He's been critical, hasn't he, of Australia in the past, gun safety particularly, saying that we have no freedom here. Do you think he'll be well received? Do you think he'll be popular here?
Oh, I think he's got a lot of followers here, of course, and his pay grade's increased substantially since he left Fox, because people are voting with their feet on his subscription service, so they are interested in the people he interviews. And I think that'll be demonstrated by the people that attend. After all, I can tell you that attendance at these things is not compulsory. You don't have to come. But if you think you've got something to contribute, if you want to have a question asked or something like that, they can go to our website and we'll be selecting from Australians. If people want to take issue with Tucker Carlson as a person, they can. But really, I'm not about people. I'm about issues and what's important. I think that's more important.
And you're about building the Titanic, relaunching it. Tell us about that.
Well, we all know how to make war. We've seen that in the Ukraine, we've seen that in Gaza, but few of us know how to make peace. Peace moves slowly, inch by inch. It's a persistent effort. And the Titanic is a great story about love, really, and it's been come that between Jack and Rose and other people, and all of us worldwide have that same feeling. We've got over 15 million people a year that log onto our website, seeing what we're doing with Titanic II. So it's got a universal appeal that can bring countries together, maybe in a positive way rather than always a negative way, which you tend to see on television, on the news, time after time. We've got to look positively to the future. And I think we'll be signing up the contract to start the construction later on this year, and by next year it'll all be underway.
OK, that's big news. Once it's completed, I can see the headline now. Clive Palmer gives a ship. There you go. That's the headline. Thanks for joining us, mate.
Well, we do. God bless you. See you.
Thank you, Clive.